What is going on, guys? It's Fangino here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys the H1Z1 King of the Kill FPS updated guide for 2017. In this guide, we're going to be going over the latest and greatest in optimizations and hit registration fixes for H1Z1 to make sure that your game is running in tip-top condition and to make sure that you can get those double taps and the highest frame rates whilst you're at it. Inside of this video, we're going to be going over game configs, Windows optimizations, and some programs to help you guys stay consistent with your frame times, hit registration, and frame rate itself. So without further ado, guys, if this video does help you, please do post your results below. Any questions also put into the comment section. And if this video does help you guys, a like would be deeply appreciated. And also subscribe to the channel if you guys are interested in other FPS guides for other games, because I pretty much cover everything out there. Okay, so that being said, guys, let's get right on into the tutorial. Okay, so to start off, what you guys need to go and do is head on into the comment section below and download the FPS pack provided. Once you guys are inside of there, all you need to do is extract it to your desktop. If you guys don't know how to do this, you're going to need WinRAR or 7-zip to do so. Links will be provided down below if you have neither of these programs. And once you guys have extracted it, you'll be given a folder which looks a little like this. We'll just move our RAR out of the way so we can just focus on this. Go inside of the FPS pack and you'll be met with a configs folder, a CC setup, launch options, creator, and time resolution. First off, what we're going to be doing is going ahead and doing our configs. So go into the config folder. Now once we're inside of here, we're going to go ahead and edit these INI files to make sure they are specific to your PC and the settings in which you use. Okay, so we're going to start off by going inside of client config. Double click on it and it'll open in Notepad. Scroll all the way down until you find asset delivery and find direct thread count is going to be set at 6. Now what we need to do is set this to your thread count. So to find your thread count, go to the bottom of your screen, right click and open up Task Manager. Once inside of Task Manager, go to the Performance tab, select CPU, and here on the right hand side you're going to see cores and logical processors. Under logical processors, whatever this number is for you guys, it might be 2, might be 4, 3, 6, might even be more. And whatever the logical processor number is, this is what you're going to be setting your direct thread count to. So for me, that's 6. If it's 4 for you guys, input 4, but for me, it's 6. Now once you've put that in there, all you need to do is hit File and Save. Press X. And now we can move on to the user options.ini. Go inside of there. Now this is basically where you're going to be setting in any custom resolutions that you guys might use. If you don't use any custom resolutions, that's completely fine. If you can remember what your game used to run at, if you ran it something different to 1080p, then just input that resolution inside of here. If again you don't do that, then don't worry about it. Again, so if you're completely fine using 1920 by 1080 as your resolution and you don't want to change it or don't know what you're doing, that's completely fine. You can just hit Save As and exit out of there. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is go on down to Steam, right click on King of the Kill, go to Properties, go to Local Files, and go to Browse Local Files. That's going to bring you inside of the H1Z1 files itself. Now what we're going to be doing is a couple more hit registration optimizations, and we'll also boost your FPS just by doing this simple trick that no one knows about. Right click on the H1Z1.exe, go to Properties, go to Compatibility, and hit Disable Full Screen Optimizations and hit Apply. Again, this will only be there if you guys are running Windows 10, and if you are, make sure to disable it. Press OK, do it for H1Z1_BE, Compatibility, Disable Full Screen Optimizations, Apply, OK. Do it for Launchpad.exe, Compatibility, Disable Full Screen Optimizations, Apply, and then OK. Now what we're going to be doing is replacing our config files. So go down to the bottom, go into the FPS pack provided, copy all 3 files, right click, press copy, go back into your game files and paste them inside of this folder here, and it'll ask you that you're going to have to replace some items. Hit replace files in this destination. Now what I recommend you guys do is you set your client config INI, go to properties and go to read only and hit apply and OK. Also do that for the graphics.ini, properties, read only, apply, OK. Now what I also recommend you guys do is you also put read only on for your user options. Now if your game doesn't boot or anything goes weird with your game, it's because it doesn't like the settings that are inside of here. So if anything does go wrong, right click on user options and take read only off, and I guarantee that your game boots just fine. But I'm going to keep read only on and press apply and OK. Make sure that you try it once with read only on, because if it works, that's fantastic. Now with all that out of the way, you're completely done with editing your game config files, so we can exit out of both of those. Now inside of here, what we're going to be doing is our launch options. Again, go to the desktop, open up the FPS pack and go into the launch options creator.txt. Basically inside of here, it's going to help you guys find your custom launch options accustomed to your PC itself. Now the only things you guys have to go ahead and find is your CPU count and your excess threads. To do that, again, go to Task Manager by right clicking on the taskbar, go into the CPU tab underneath Performance, and Cores is going to be your CPU count and Logical Processors is going to be your thread count. So again, both are -6. Yours will more than likely be different. So what we're going to do is going to set the CPU count to 6 and my excess threads as 6 as well. Again, this is where your logical processors come in, so whatever that number is. Now also all we need to do is set our custom RAM. So for me, I have 24 gigabytes of RAM and I want this game to use around about 20 gigabytes. You don't want to fill that out completely, otherwise you could cause game crashes. So what I want you guys to do, again, to find out how much RAM you have, open up Task Manager and go to the memory tab, and it will tell you out of how many gigabytes is free. So for me, it's using currently 4.9 out of 23.8, so 24 gigabytes of RAM, as again, it says in the top right. So if you guys have 16, I recommend maybe using 12 here. If you guys have 8,000, I'd recommend using 7,000. Again, just give yourself a little bit of headroom to make sure that your launch options are completely fine and you're not maxing out your RAM. If you have 4 gigabytes, I'd probably use around about 3,000. But for me, I have 24 gigabytes, so I'm going to use 20. Once you've got your custom launch options down here at the bottom, all you need to do is from the back to the front, highlight them and copy them. Go into Steam, go to H1Z1 King of the Kill, right click, properties, go to general, set launch options, and paste them inside of there. And it should just look like that. Press OK and close. So now what we're going to be doing is moving on to Windows specific optimizations to make sure that not only just H1Z1 works absolutely fine, but all games do as well. And this will also increase your FPS inside of H1Z1 and should also help out with hit registration. So what we're going to first off do is go into the bottom left, type in this PC, right click, go to properties. On the left hand side here, we're going to be going into advanced system settings. And we're going to go over to the advanced tab found here at the top. Under here, we're going to be going into performance and hitting the settings button. This is going to be set to let Windows choose what specifies computer. We're going to be going and setting it to custom. Uncheck every box inside of here. Now I'm pretty sure everything is going to be checked for you guys, besides show thumbnails instead of icons. Now if you also want those super smooth Windows fonts, make sure that you also do smooth edges of screen fonts, but that can also cause minor FPS drops, so I personally had that off and I actually like the look of it. So I only have show thumbnails instead of icons checked, and also this if you wish to. Then hit apply. Go up to the top to the advanced tab and make sure processor scheduling is set to adjust best performance for programs, and under data execution prevention I have that turned on for essential Windows programs and services only. It's more than likely going to be set on for all, but just hit the option at the top and hit the apply button, then OK. It might ask you that you might need a system restart after this once you press OK. If it does, do not restart your PC just yet. We're going to restart our PCs after we're done with the steps. Now what we're going to be doing is disabling unnecessary Windows services which can cause excess slowdown on both your hard drive and Windows itself. Now to do this, we're going to be going into the bottom left and typing in services. Once that's open up the services tab, and you'll be given a tab that just looks like this. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. This is put in alphabetical order for you guys until you see S's. You want to find a service called Superfetch. Once you found the service, right click on it, go to properties. This service is more than likely going to be running for you guys, so hit startup type, go down to disabled, and if the service is running, hit the stop button. It will take around about a second. Then what we're going to be doing is hitting the apply button and OK. Also scroll down to the bottom if you guys are on Windows 10 and disable the Xbox Live Networking Service, Game Save, Xbox Live Auth Manager, and also the Xbox Accessory Management Service. You can do all of these just by right clicking, going to properties, startup type disabled, service status, stop. It's more than likely going to be running for you guys. If it is, hit stop and then hit apply and OK, and do that for those. The Xbox game monitoring one unfortunately cannot be turned off. Now once you're done inside of there disabling all of those services, all you need to do is just exit out. Now what we're going to be doing is removing excess Windows temporary files in which your PC doesn't even use anymore, which could have been sat on your PC for years, months or weeks. So to do this, what we're going to be doing is going into the bottom left and we're going to be typing in %appdata%. Press enter and you'll be given a tab just like this. Go to the app data folder found at the top, go to local, scroll all the way down till you get to the T section and go into the folder called TEMP. Now you're more than likely going to have so many files and folders in here. If you guys have never deleted this again, I always ask people in my FPS guides if you can go ahead and tell me how much you actually remove from this folder, because it's insane. For you guys who have just upgraded from Windows 7 to 10, or who you haven't installed a new copy of Windows for ages, this folder is going to be jam-packed with Windows files that haven't been used for months, if not even years. It's absolutely insane, and none of it gets used by Windows. So what we're going to be doing is highlighting from the top to the bottom every single file and folder inside of there, right clicking and hitting delete. It's going to tell you that this action cannot be completed for all files and folders. Hit do this for all current items and press skip. And if that message comes up again, just hit the same thing. I'm only left with one file and one folder. It doesn't matter how much you're left with inside of here. As long as it removes the majority of the stuff, you're absolutely fine. Again, it's gone ahead and removed so much unnecessary Windows stuff that is literally just sat there taking up hard drive space and slowing down your system. Okay, so now once we're done clearing the temp folder, you can exit out of there. We're also going to be going down into the bottom left again and typing in run. Once you've typed in run, press enter and this little box will appear. Then inside of this box, we're going to be typing in prefetch and press OK. Now once inside your prefetch folder, if you haven't been in here before, I guarantee this is more than likely going to look exactly like your temp folder, and there's going to be files upon folders inside of here. Now I only cleared my prefetch folder around about a week ago, so there's nothing inside of here. And once you disable superfetch, it stops dumping excess files with inside of this folder, so that's pretty much why mine never fills up anymore. But what I want you guys to do is do exactly what you did with the temp folder, from the top to the bottom, all the way down, and press the delete key. And if it can't delete anything, then all you have to do is just follow the on-screen option and hit skip. Once you're done inside of there, all you have to do then is press the X button. Okay, now what we're going to be doing is moving on and installing Ccleaner. To do so, open up the FPS Pack and launch the cc setup 532.exe. Inside of here, press the install button. Once the program's done installing, uncheck this and hit run cleaner. Now inside of here, it's going to tell you a little bit of basic system information. Pay attention to your graphics card because we're going to be coming back to this later on. And what we're going to be doing is going into the cleaner utility and pressing the analyze button. That might take a little bit longer for you guys than it did for me. It only took me 9 seconds, but if you guys are running multiple hard drives or might have a slow hard drive or a full hard drive, it's more likely going to take you guys a lot longer. Now once it's done with this analysis, all I want you guys to go ahead and do is hit the run cleaner option. This is basically going to declutter your system and remove, again, more temporary files, excess cookies, excess cache, stuff that you don't even use, which just sits in your PC causing drastic slowdown. Press yes if it asks you to close any programs, and it's going to tell you that the cleaning is complete. I want you guys to go ahead and run the analysis again. Now more than likely it's going to be coming up with more files that can be removed. If it does, hit run cleaner, press OK, again close more files, hit analyze, until it gives you this screen here, which says analysis complete, 0 bytes to be removed. Then what I want you guys to go ahead and do is go on into the registry file found inside of here and hit scan for issues. And once you're done inside of there, hit fix selected issues. You're more likely going to see lots more than I have. It's going to ask you if you wish to do backup changes to the registry, press no, and hit fix all selected issues. Once it tells you that the issues are fixed, press close and scan again for more. It's more than likely going to find more for you guys. It hasn't for me this time. It's going to say no issues are found. Keep hitting fix selected issues and doing what we did before until you're met with this screen and running these scan issues. And once you're done inside of there, we can also use the Uninstall Tool, which is found under Tools and Uninstall. Again, what I want you guys to do is go inside of here, remove any excess games, any excess programs, stuff that you no longer use which could be causing slowdown to your PC. Again, we just want to remove everything. The more full of the hard drive, the slower the performance of it. So again, go inside of here, be harsh, remove stuff you know you don't need. And with all this Microsoft Visual C++ stuff, this needs to stay on your PC. I'm literally talking about games such as like Miscreated for Me or Payday 2, stuff that you no longer play that literally just takes up a lot of hard drive space and which you no longer need or use and will be much better invested into more frames inside of games. Once you're done inside of there, all you need to do is exit out of the program. But again, take note of your GPU found here at the top. For me, I'm using an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970, so I have an NVIDIA card. If you guys have a Radeon or an AMD card, please take note because what we're going to be doing next is going ahead and updating our GPU drivers. Links will also be included in the description below for whether you guys are using a Radeon or NVIDIA. Again, use Ccleaner to let you know what sort of GPU you're running, so I'm running an NVIDIA. If you guys are running an AMD, go onto the link provided below and go down to the automatic detect and install your driver and hit download now and follow that program. It will pretty much take you through everything and automatically detect everything for you and download it for you. Now for you guys running NVIDIA cards, I've also included a link and I want you guys to go ahead for the automatic driver updates, hit download again just like the AMD guys have to do, follow that program and it will automatically detect and download all the latest drivers for you guys to make sure that your PCs are running in top-notch condition. Make sure again that you scan for drivers around about every month or so just to ensure that you guys have the latest and greatest in optimizations from your GPU vendor. Now again, what I want you guys to go ahead and do is go in for your desktop, go for your downloads folders, go for your documents, all of these folders found inside of here, and I want you guys to go in and go through them and declutter them. If you guys have excess folders with excess files like old game config files or Photoshop files you no longer use, again, all of this stuff adds up. Something as simple as an Adobe Photoshop PSD file, that's around about 10 megabytes. You have 10 of those, that's 100. If you have 100 of those, that's a gigabyte. Again, this stuff all adds up, so make sure that you go ahead and just remove excess stuff from your PC that you don't need. Let go of it. It's much better invested into more frames inside of game. Again, it won't cause a drastic increase, but everything helps and it will also help you guys stay away from any stuttering. Okay, so once you guys are done with that, what we're going to be doing is going into the bottom left one last time and we're going to be going into this PC. Press enter, and what we're going to do is go over to our hard drives or any SSDs that you guys have, right click, go to properties and go into the disk cleanup tool found inside of here. Make sure that you select everything on the left hand side from the top to the bottom, and it's basically going to remove any excess clutter from inside of your PC and your hard drives as well. Press OK and hit delete. Let this disk cleanup utility run, and once it's done, it will simply just close itself. Make sure that you do that for all of your hard drives and SSDs. Now for you guys who run solely just hard drives or have your games installed to a hard drive, I want you guys to right click on your hard drive. Make sure again you do not do this if you have an SSD. Go into properties, go to tools, run the error checking tool and hit scan drive. It's going to tell me that my drive was successfully scanned and no issues were found. If any issues are found, it will basically go through a command prompt and try and solve those for you if you guys have any hard drive issues. Again, do not do any of this if you have an SSD, just run the disk cleanup utility like we did. Press close and also go into the optimize and defragment drive, hit the optimize button. What we're going to be doing is going over to our hard drive and hitting the analyze button. Now after the analysis is complete, if you guys come back with any % fragmented, make sure that you run optimize and let it run its pass. It could take a little while to do this, but I guarantee it will be worth and it will solve any hard drive issues that you guys are having. If you don't, that's absolutely fantastic. Hit close, and all you got to do is press OK and we can exit out of there. So now moving on to the last step, steps, I want you guys to go into the FPS guide one last time, get time resolution and drag it onto your desktop. It's already on mine, so that's fine. And what we need to do is go over to the program. Now this is basically how you guys are going to go about booting your game when you go to play H1Z1. So right before you go and play, right click on timer resolution, hit run as admin and hit the maximize button or maximum. And go over onto the left side and press the maximum button. This basically means that Windows code is no longer restricted and it can run as fast as it needs to. So if your game requires any inputs or any code to be running at a faster rate than what the game can currently access, it basically unlocks that. This will not get you banned. There is nothing wrong with this. Game developers come out and said that there's absolutely nothing wrong with using this program, but this can definitely help, especially with hit registration inside of H1Z1 and other games, lowering frame times, lowering input times to make sure that everything feels precise and crisp. So once your timer resolution is running at maximum, we're just going to minimize it. Now once you're playing, that's completely fine. When you're done playing, come out, hit default, and then you can exit out of the program. But whilst we're playing, or you're about to play, right click, run as admin, hit the maximum button. I personally also use Razer Cortex. I recommend that you guys download it. I've included it as an optional download in the description below. I personally use it and think it's a fantastic program. Some people are a bit skeptical about it, but I do recommend you guys go ahead and use it. After I've opened up time resolution, I personally open up Razer Cortex. I go into the program, go to the game booster, found here at the top, and just hit the boost button manually. This is basically going to optimize programs and release a ton of excess RAM and close a lot of background processes in which do not need to be used. So it's freed up around about half a gig of RAM for me. That's fantastic. And I'm just going to hit minimize on that as well. I'm going to go into Steam itself and run King of the Kill. Just hit play. And that's pretty much it, guys. Again, once you're in game, if anything looks weird or anything keeps resetting itself, take that user options.ini only like I told you to do earlier on, and I guarantee that will fix any issues you do have if you come across any. Now once you guys are in game, as you're landing, I want you guys to go into the graphics settings and turn down your render distance to 500. Once you hit the ground, you can't see more than 500 meters in front of you anyway, so once you lower that, that will also give you a significant FPS boost, and just get used to doing that every time you fly down. The user options.ini being set to read only basically means it's going to reset that every time you spawn in, which is fantastic because you want that further render distance whilst you're flying down so you can see where you're going. But once you guys land, just make sure that you revert it down to 500 and your performance will be absolutely fantastic. Okay guys, so here you can see on screen, I'm running it with all the optimizations done. Again, this is the ultimate FPS guide with inside of YouTube. I've gone through, I've done tons of research, I've looked into tons of other people's optimizations, and I've pretty much just compiled the best and most efficient ones and my own ones inside of there to give you guys the best overall experience so you don't have to go around looking at video after video and guide after guide. This is all found here, and that's pretty much what I do. If you guys want to see any FPS guides for any other games that I haven't currently done, please do let me know in the comment section below. And also guys, if you can let me know how much of a performance increase you've got, that would be absolutely fantastic because I am genuinely intrigued with you guys because mileage can vary. But regardless, you should see a pretty hefty boost compared to what you started off with at the beginning of the video. If you guys have any friends or duo partners or anything that have performance issues, please do link this video to them. If you guys can leave a like and also subscribe to the channel, it would be deeply appreciated. Thank you very much for watching guys. This has been Pangino, and I'll see you guys in the next one.